Okay.
Welcome to Small Biz Talk, part of Rockstar Video Marketing, where we help the small and medium business owner through all their questions, challenges, and anything that might come up. Today, with me, I have Dan Sissick, Freda Pryor, and Chris Peters. You guys
Yes.
want to say hello?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rockstar Power Hour Small Biz Talk session. We're looking forward to explaining some things about how we can help your business if you're a small business owner during these trying times of COVID-19 and different ways that you can use video marketing to take your business to the next level.
Great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Freda Pryor, and hopefully I can share some information with you on how to keep your business going during these times.
Right on, Freda.
Then we have the main man.
Do you want to let everybody know what Freda does?
Yeah, sure.
Or Freda can.
Or, yeah. Even better.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, Freda is the owner and the CEO of CCG Agency, and that has a ton of amazing courses. You can go there and not only learn the basics of business, but learn things SEO, website design, HTML, and a whole bunch of other topics, e-commerce, SEO, just everything about the under the sun you'd want to learn about business and online marketing. Does that suffice?
It does. And in addition to that, with each course, we also provide direct assistance with each client one-on-one. So that's also an additional benefit. And again, that's just to continue helping our customers and our clients as they continue to build and expand and grow their business.
Excellent, excellent. So, and then we also have Dan Sissick today. Now, today I would like to talk about, because we've been doing a little bit of research, and the businesses that have got hit probably the hardest, or one of up there, are restaurant owners. So I did some research, and I want to bring all of your expertise to the table here. How can restaurant owners start prospering in the age of COVID? Now, the first thing I really saw is, and this might go without saying, you'd say this is fairly obvious, but if you're a restaurant owner, you want to give them full assurance and transparency. Now, what do I mean by that? You want to let them know where you're at, what's going on with your business, and let them know that if they come into your business, that they would be completely safe and that you take all the precautions and stuff like that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to tell them something that's false. But if I was a restaurant owner and all this was happening, the first thing I would want to do is make you or whoever is coming in feel safe, and also let them know exactly what's going on. And I could do that in a lot of different ways, but I want to get your guys' opinion on, if you put yourself in the boots or shoes of a restaurant owner, this stuff is going on. What would you do to make them feel safe, and what would you do to make the most transparent environment possible? I know Dan and Chris have some ideas on this, so I'll let you guys give me some input.
Is Chris going to give you his opinion first, and then Dan, and then we go from there? Or
we can do it either way, or we can do it one by one.
Okay, well then I'll go ahead and just throw my 2 cents in. Yeah, with everything that's going on in the restaurant industry right now, if when clients come to me, when people come to me, the first thing I always take into consideration is their current situation. Is this a business or a restaurant that's been in business for a while? Is this a business that you are willing to take a small loss for by making or offering different specials and discounts? Social distancing is a big deal. If you have an actual brick and mortar location, You know, look at how those numbers are doing right now, and if there's anything that can be done to increase the amount of people that are willing to visit based on various, you know, promotions that are going on, while still making sure that the environment is safe. Who are their local competitors? How are they doing? What are they doing? Have you taken into consideration what they're doing to keep their doors open? All of those things would play a part in me helping them decide the best approach that should be taken. Now, if they're in the process of just starting or thinking of taking that route and opening a restaurant or starting a restaurant during today's climate, I would recommend that they do more research first, that we again take a look at their competitors, what they're doing, how their numbers are looking, what type of food are they serving. You know, are they thinking of establishing a relationship with Uber Eats, you know, with all of these types of places? Because again, that's where all of the money is going to come from if you're a restaurant that's still alive right now, because you have to be able to get food to the people that are requesting food, and they're using different sources to do that now. So the primary goal would be to make sure that they are also affiliated and intertwined with those other entities that are able to get their food as quickly as possible to their customer. So that's the route I would take and what I would look at first.
Okay, wow. You know, there's a lot to unpack there. One thing I really like you said is how long have they been in business? And one thing I have seen is delivery has been doing very, very well. And especially if you combine that with something like specials or something like if you buy, you know, this amount, you know, get the, say you buy 2 pizzas, you get 1 pizza free. Or if it's something that people want specifically, a certain type of food or a certain type of special, you can see what they're doing. And then also looking at different competitors, I have seen in the area, if I'm getting into point 2, adapting and using innovation, that's one of the really big things is people who are competing, when you have to go and pick it up, some people don't like that. But if you can integrate with Uber Eats, or you can integrate with the delivery service, or you have a way to come to them, that's great. If you can't do that, then also having pickup is very, very, it's not the same, but I'd say it's almost as close. And one thing I researched is if you can combine that with some incentives, let's say you give them coupons or you give them something else, or you give them even credit on Uber Eats, which can do, then that's going to, in my opinion, help the average restaurant owner who's trying to figure out, hey, how can I stay afloat? How can I make it through these times? By actually giving them kind of an edge. And then since, you know, Dan does a little bit of Uber, he can help out, right, Dan? Let's see if I can unmute him here.
I'm going to go from a personal experience that we actually had with my family when we went to dinner, and when restaurants here in Vegas were starting to open up again. And we had 9 of us in my family. We went to an establishment to go eat, and you know, we were told about their protocols, except that, you know, one thing that we wanted to make sure we all could sit together. And when we got there, they told us that, you know, they would have to split us up because they could only do like 4 at a table and 4 at a table, and we had 9 of us. And we're like trying to get them to understand that we're all family. We don't care. We don't mind sitting together. We wanted, you know, it went back and forth. But then, you know, we saw them where they had seated another group, and there were 7 in that group. And my nephew kind of brought that point to them. And so they ended up using one of their back rooms that they use for like special parties and stuff, which was perfect. It's like how they, you know, said that, oh, well, we'll have to put you back here or back in the back, you know, and we would have been, you know, instead of giving us all this grief about, oh, well, because of social distancing and this and that, you know, but it was away from all the other people. It was, you know, closed in. You know, the servers could come in and out to service, and but we were all in, and it was almost like, you know, what are you not wanting to people to come here? Are you wanting to turn people away because here you've been being hurt so long, you know, for these last 3 months, but now we're here, you know, and you can't even accommodate, you know, for a family that wants to sit together.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, sometimes, you know, people get so hung up on sometimes um, what the guidelines entail instead of looking at what the guidelines entail and say, how can we best make this fit for us, but also fit for our customers too. And I think that's something you got to look at.
Absolutely. And if I can chime in here, I want to piggyback off what Freda, Dan, and Cream were saying. You know, the restaurant industry is hospitality, and hospitality means warmth and togetherness. And it's about creating an atmosphere in your establishment. And with this social distancing nonsense, the industries like then especially in the hospitality industry are going to suffer the most, because that's all about creating that family time, that togetherness, that warmth, and that bond. And the whole point of going to a restaurant is to go together with people you care about. It's creating those memorable experiences and enjoying the atmosphere, getting in there and talking to the staff and just being a human being. And I think that if this nonsense doesn't end soon, that the restaurant and the hospitality industry in general are going to be in some very big trouble. And I think that's where Kareem and I are going to be able to help the most, is by reminding people in this day and age that, hey, going to restaurants is all about going together. It's about experiencing each restaurant's unique atmosphere, unique menu items, and being in-house, and also taking advantage of other services that those restaurants might offer, like party planning or lounge or banquets or buffets and all those types of things that go hand in hand with visiting a restaurant in general. And I'm really worried about this industry. Like, I really wonder what's going to happen to restaurants and bars because of this nonsense that's going on. So I think that people like Frida and us are going to be able to help these restaurant owners and the hospitality industry and make sure people are reminded of the importance of going out and not always staying home and ordering food. Yes, Skip the Dishes is great, Uber Eats is great, and all these delivery services, but I kind of feel like those services are great for families that don't have time to cook and they want to just get a quick meal into the kids after soccer practice or picking them up from school. But family dinners are an event, and going to a restaurant is an event, and it's an experience that I think should never be should never be, what's the word I'm looking for? Forgotten. Well, it's not really the word, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's something that's being completely replaced by these other things, these other niche, these other delivery services, which is great, but the whole point is going out, man. And I really hope that we can help these business owners, because I've been hearing about shutdowns all over the world with restaurant and hotel and bars, and that's not good. So those are my thoughts on it.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you all for your contribution. So now we talked a lot of different ideas. We also talked about, how could you do delivery? How could you do it personally? What would you do? So let's say you come up with all these ideas, and then you want to showcase your deliveries and you want to showcase your in-person experience. There's two ways you can market, as far as I'm concerned. You can do personal marketing and online marketing, or offline and online, depending on how you want to phrase it. Now, let's say you're a restaurant. If I was going to do offline marketing, which, that you can definitely do both, I would come up with some unique designs on my menu. I would come up with my best selling, dishes, anything, any kind of specials that I'm having. and I would definitely look at the other competitors and see what they're doing. But there's a lot of different places like canva.com and other places you can create a menu and actually get those printed out. You can also do flyers and brochures, and there's actually a lot of different, even business cards. There's a lot of different methods to get your name out there, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're doing personal marketing, which restaurants still are doing that, at least in my area, from what I can see, and in the cities around my area, what are some ways you guys could think of, or you guys are picturing, if you were a restaurant owner, say, hey, okay, I came up with these ideas. I know what's unique about my restaurant. I know what specials I have, and I know what delivery options I have. How can I get it to people on a personal level? And how can I do that in an efficient and effective way? Got any thoughts on that, guys?
Well, if they're an established restaurant already, um, if they don't have a mailing list established already, then maybe reaching out to their social media contacts. That may be a way to put the specials out there and show the updates to their menu. And maybe they decide to have, just an example, for some, I know out here they have a Taco Tuesday, and it's one of their busiest days. Believe it or not, because at this particular restaurant, you can get a taco for $1. And it just drives people crazy for some reason. So the money that they're losing during the week because of social distancing, and just because people are not really going out as much for various reasons, they were able to make up a lot of that loss by offering a specific day where they target one of their most popular requests when customers come in, and it just happened to be their tacos.
Taco for $1 does sound kind of enticing. And definitely with your expertise, Fred, at CCG, that's something you could really bring to light, is that, hey, what's your social media presence like? What are you doing on Facebook? What are you doing on Instagram? What are you doing on Pinterest? And you could even make little, flyers and stuff like that. That's more in the online thing. And then even if you make an event, a Facebook event, you can still use flyers, use signs and everything outside to get people excited about that. I know if I saw, tacos or something I like to eat for $1, especially nowadays, I'd go crazy for that too. I would
Yeah.
be in the door right away.
Right, and what I'm noticing just from initial consultations I'm having with various business owners, many of them don't have a large enough social media presence to carry them through times like this. So that's something else I'd also recommend, along with what you guys are doing when it comes to promoting their products, services, their business as a whole. In addition to the videos that you all can put together for them to assist them with gaining more exposure, they also need to take a look at the various social media outlets that are out there and start working on building that following now. That way, when there are hard times, which every business has them, no business is safe from hard times at some point, they have a list, or they have individuals that are familiar with their restaurant that they can reach out to and say,
Yeah.
hey, we see that you come here often. Next Thursday we're having live karaoke. Come by and get a free margarita.
Come by and get drunk and sing your ass off and make a fool of yourself. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, Frida. Like that, those experience, like those things are being taken from people right now, and restaurants are suffering because of it. And to me, we've got to do something about that, because video marketers and consulting agencies like yours that have other ways businesses can market their products and services, I think that's very integral right now. And it's important because they likely don't know that these types of services exist. And if they do, they're probably being coerced into buying other packages of advertising that they may never use. Whereas, businesses like Rockstar and CCG can offer different solutions based on their individual needs without having to bundle everything together and possibly buying services they may not need for their business. It all depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for Facebook advertising, if they're looking for Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, or YouTube.
Right. And in addition to that, keeping in mind that, we also provide them with access to the resources to learn it themselves. So it's one thing to say, I recommend that you go out and, build a larger social media presence. I need go out there and, promote your business on Instagram. They're like, okay, well, how do I do that? I have no idea what you're talking about. And in most cases, a lot of organizations will do the work for them. And that leaves the customer not having any idea what's going on. And
Yes.
that's how, and that ends up hurting the business owner, because you pay someone to do something for you. They're going to get it done. But at the end of the day, what did they do? Did they keep you in the loop of what they were doing? Were you able to ask questions as you went through the process? That's the difference between what we provide as a whole and what others are providing. I don't feel that a lot of business owners are believing in the people that are supposed to help them, because they feel as if they're being overcharged, or it's not helping them.
No. I agree.
Well, can I jump in with a thought I had? I was listening, and one of my things that.
Oh, Dan froze.
Dan, are you there?
He might be
transitioning, so he might have a little bit of connection up and down, but that's okay, because he'll rejoin once he gets his connection back, and I will let him chime in. And I forgot what I was trying to say. Oh, what I was trying to say is, apologize. I was about to sneeze. I was trying not to.
That's okay. I've got allergies. It's bad.
Yeah. So sorry about that. But what I wanted to piggyback off of is the idea that you guys were talking about what social media services you can offer, and then not buying packages, or, not buying this or that or the other thing. And what we can really do to help people with that is, just getting videos like this out there. And what business owners can also do to, instead of staying away from this package, that package, going after this online, is simply, like they're doing on social media, when they're posting these events, you can just literally private message them or approach them one-on-one. And I think that's going to be the most effective way to help them out. And correct me if I'm wrong, but since we both, Dan's back, since we all do video and social media, I think that's going to be the most effective way to do it. Dan, are you still there? Dan, did I lose you?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, so.
I think he dropped off.
Huh?
I think he dropped off.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay, finish. So finishing with kind of what I was saying, that a lot of, business are now realizing how important social media platforms are, but they don't understand that, you don't have to do a lot with them to, get some impact and get yourself out there. It's just, like I said, using, agencies like ours and Frida's and things like that to get that out there. And two, but you got to look at all forms of marketing, and with the economy the way it is, even helping somebody, out on that needs a job, people, those sign twirlers, you can get one of those for maybe, $10 an hour, and have them do it 2 or 3 days a week or certain days to help with things like that. So in that case, you have that, I think a lot of people have kind of, how do I say this, for lack of a better way of saying it, kind of let the pandemic and everything kind of just throw them off their game, which it, has, but at the same point, you can't let it throw you off too far, or else, you can get caught up like everybody else. And it's the ones that understand and know, that they still have options and they still have things they can do that will be the ones I think that can survive.
I agree, Dan. Yep. I know one thing that Kareem and I have struggled with recently is being able to meet business owners. Because in my city right now, they're closed. A lot of businesses are closing early, or they're only allowing takeout, especially restaurants, because that's what we're targeting with our marketing right now. It's very difficult to meet business owners at the moment, which is why I think Kareem, you and I should start cold calling. I'm going to start that next week with Colton. I'm going to get his help. I'm going to train him on cold calling, and that's another way that I think we should really start catapulting this. It's just contacting businesses. I'm going to start doing more email marketing, just to let them know that we're out here. We know what they're going through. We know how difficult it is for them to turn profit when you don't even have probably half your customer flow that you used to have because of this. And it's a very difficult time for them right now. So for sure.
Yeah, face-to-face is still the most powerful marketing, especially, and that even doesn't matter if you're a restaurant owner, coffee shop, bar, yoga, whatever it is.
Yeah,
if
it could
you
be
can
anything.
get the information out to people, say via flyer, business card, however you want to get that, even going around your neighborhood and then either handing them out or going to a public place and then getting people that information, that's going to make a big difference. And then you can also use social media like Facebook events or videos. And if you need videos, we can find a way to do that as well, especially putting it on YouTube. Because if I go on YouTube and I can see, hey, this restaurant's open and they're accommodating families and they still have the same spirit, the same atmosphere, and on top of that, they're doing deliveries, I would get pretty excited. So those are some good online ways to market. And if there's something I missed online, let me know.
No, I think that's pretty effective for sure. It's a good way to do it. Another way you could do it is also writing articles, blogging, stuff like that. I mean, I don't think blogs are very popular anymore, but you can still do that. Publish newsletters, send out newsletters, things like that.
And just to add to
Go ahead,
that,
Fred.
yeah, and just to add to that, press releases are still very, very powerful.
Okay.
They're still very powerful, especially when they're being submitted regularly with updates or major things that you'd like your customers to know about. I've found that those still work very well. But in addition to different avenues of advertising, like you all are saying, I mean, they definitely need to have, or I'd recommend that they have some videos. That's important, whether they're 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minute, get with you guys on what would work best for their business and get it in front of people so people are able to see what's happening and with your business during all of the madness that's going on. That's very important. And it also has to be on a consistent basis. It shouldn't be something that business owners consider doing once every 90 days. It should be on a repeated schedule. That way they're able to see how it's working for them. And as time goes on, we can assist them with monitoring, if it's doing well, if it's not, maybe we should tweak some things. Maybe you should do another video that focuses specifically on ABC. But again, those are all of the things that that we're all able to help them do, but they have to begin somewhere. And the first step would be to get with us, to get with you guys and figure out the best way to get their information out there in front of their customers.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we're here, because we all have different ways of doing that, and we all have different experiences doing that. So what will work for one restaurant may not work for another, and that's a big thing. Just because you studied your competitor and you can get some ideas, or you studied someone in your hometown, doesn't necessarily mean that, say you're doing delivery, it might not work in one place. Also, person to person might not work in another place. Some restaurants, yeah, like Dan was saying, they may allow full families to come together. Some might have different rules. So what's going to adapt in one area is not going to work in another area. So if we can figure out specifically how to get the information, how to get the right information in front of people, and it's going to vary for each one, then we can start to narrow down and say, okay, how can we help you specifically? Because it all comes down to the restaurant owner's individual needs. How can they get their specials, their ideas, the food that they love to make out to the people that they want to serve, and even grow that in this time?
I was going to throw something else out, and this is going to sound maybe a little odd and stuff, because we know about testimonials and stuff, but maybe right now this might be a good time for those 30-second, 1 minute, or a minute and a half, maybe, if it's a really good one that really, but those testimonials of, like, in the instance, like, I'll go with my family again, where they ultimately found a resolution to make us happy, because we had all later said that, because they made us happy and got us, and we had a very nice time, and the food was awesome and it was good, that can be a positive, and that can be a way of drawing people in to say, oh, these people were at first, frustrated, or, had this issue, but they turned it around and found a way, and these people are now giving us glowing testimony about how good it was. And that might be another draw to get people in, because of a testimony, in essence, the new form of word of mouth. Because right now, unless you're really good friends with your neighbors and stuff, people probably are still not just going out and just telling people, and with everything like that. That could be another form of using word of mouth, so to speak, to get people to come in and say, wow, they went above and beyond. Let's go try them out, rather than going here because we already know how they are, or because they aren't offering these services.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we were totally happy with the experience when we were done. We all had a great time. We celebrated Father's Day and my nephew's birthday together all in one.
Yeah.
It was nice. I really enjoyed and really had fun with it. In the end, but in the beginning, it was kind of like we were all just really stressed and irritated. But it took away the irritation, and I think, if you can capture those, testimonies and shine on them, as well as showing and offering everything that all the things you're doing to keep people safe, make it work, make them feel comfortable, to make that experience what it should be. I think you have a powerful tool there to go along with everything else, and to add on all your social media too.
Very good points. I like it, Dan. Smart man over there in Nevada.
It's Dan the man. Yeah, thank you for your...
He's like, no, I'm not smart. Yeah, you are, Dan. Don't be bashful.
Dan on the spot. Okay, guys. So that's mainly what I wanted to cover. Just going to recap everything. So if you're a restaurant or business owner watching this, to stay ahead of everything, if I can summarize all the points. First thing, analyze your competition, analyze your area, see what's going on in that area. And then based on that, try and see what people really, really love about your establishment going into the place physically and the experiences they can have. Do you want to allow families? Do you want to allow friends? How do you want to organize things and also make people feel safe? Because anywhere you go, you want to feel safe and welcome. And to the people who can't make it or the people who would prefer to stay home, what can you do for deliveries? What can you do for specials? Now, that's all great, but then eventually you want to take that online. Maybe you have your dollar Taco Tuesday, which sounds amazing still, kind of makes me hungry. How do you want people to know about that? Well, you can put a sign out, you can put flyers, you can get brochures. You can also then transition to social media and put that as a Facebook event, maybe even put a YouTube video about it. Now, to do all those things, that's pretty time consuming. Wouldn't you guys say? You know, if you're a business owner, you're kind of freaking out, you're a restaurant owner, you're trying to figure out, how can I do all these things? You know, how is
Definitely.
that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then what happens is you get caught up in running the business and you forget that that's something you needed to work on. And you keep saying you'll get
Yeah.
back to it and you never really get back to it. That's, so that's usually what happens in the world of business.
For sure.
Yeah, and you're a restaurant owner. You don't want to, I mean, you're trying to run your business. You're kind of freaking out already a little bit, probably, even while you're watching this. You want things to work. Now, the worst thing you can do is, when it's time consuming, you're out there, you're trying to do stuff. Let's just be blunt. You want to save time. In my opinion, saving time right now is the most important asset next to making money. So the way you can really save time, in my opinion, is just find people who you can talk to, not blue suits, not dudes in, three-piece business suits with this cigar. I know I'm painting the, corporate America picture, but just regular folks with skills, because there's a lot of them out there. And two, amazing places to go if you're able to. One is CCG agency, and that's because as Freda said, you can take tons of courses, you can get tons of information, and they're tailored towards your specific expertise in what you want to do. And if you want to elaborate on that, Freda, I would love to hear, like, okay, I'm a restaurant owner, what do I need to learn? What courses might I be interested in information?
Definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah, great question. Well, as a restaurant owner, what I would recommend first is that they take a course that will teach them how to maintain the level of stress that's going to occur if it's not already occurring. So there are courses on that. Maybe a couple of leadership courses, or maybe a leadership course to assist them with how to continue to successfully operate their restaurant during these times. Because as you said, the times now are nothing like they were 8 months ago. So
No,
what they
not-
were doing 8 months ago down at, ABC's barbecue may be completely different than what's required from CDE's hamburger shop. So,
Yeah.
you want to take a course or courses that are going to educate you in different areas that you feel as the restaurant owner you need in order to make your business more successful. Whether that's, okay, you were told or you've been told you need to grow your social media profile. You have no idea, number one, what that consists of and what social media are you talking about. We have courses for that can walk you specifically through, marketing 101, what it is that needs to be done when it comes to specific type of social media advertising. When they speak with you guys and they talk with you about the different videos that you can do for them. If they need a better understanding of what it is you're going to do, there's a course on that.
Yeah.
That doesn't give them as much detail as you all can, but it helps them better understand what it is you're going to do for them behind the scenes. That way, when you're talking with them, what you're saying makes more sense now because they've had a chance to actually sit down and get the basics themselves, the basic
Yeah.
concept, or I should say themselves. So the courses that are provided are specifically catered to different types of businesses. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. These are all skills and resources that I feel, in my opinion, every business owner should have access to and should be familiar with, especially if they're trying to keep their business alive right now.
Yeah.
Yep. And on the video part, since you mentioned the video, if you go to rsvideomarketing.com, you will land on this page, and hey, we have a menu style thing. And here, if you're a restaurant owner, if you want something fun, we can do whiteboard videos for you. We can do different things with explainer videos, or just have a plain old spokesperson video where we have the restaurant in the back where you can take a look, see what's going on in the background. So go ahead, take a look, have a great time, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for Small Biz Talk on how to help restaurant owners through this economic times or through the COVID thing we're going through right now. Any last comments, questions, thoughts, or anything else?
No, I think we covered a lot today.
All right.
And I would jump out there and say, just do it. Just do it. If you think about it too long, you're going to talk yourself out of it, and then you're going to have to end up correcting more than you need to, because we can go ahead and assist you with getting that done right now. So like he said, take a look at the site, reach out if you have any questions. Don't be afraid to ask, don't hesitate, and let us help you keep things on track. That's what we're here for.
Yep, for sure.
That's what we're here for. We're just regular folks helping regular folks, from one small business owner to another. Thank you for tuning in to Small Biz Talk, your information hub on helping small business owners and medium-sized business owners get their business improved and answering their questions. Today we had Dan Sissick, Freda Pryor, and Chris Peters. Thank all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have the links down below in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.
Thanks, guys.